left in order to try to rescue those who were still living. But one of the rescuers, whatever, by intuition or by providence, stayed back and examined it more closely. And even though the rubble was obstructing his view, he sensed there was something more there. And then he heard the faint whisper, whimper of a child. And so he called out to his rescuers, he said, "Come back, the child here." And so they went through the rubble. They actually heard the voice of the child under the mother. And the mother knew the only way she could protect her child from what was going to happen was if she would cover her child. So she allowed her body to be sacrificed as a protective wound so that her child might have life. She texted on her cell phone a little message to her child, and they found the cell phone. And the message as she checked the text to her child unsaid was, "If you can survive, you must remember that I love you." That's sacrifice. It's getting out of self in service of others. That's very Christ-like, isn't it? To give away self so that others might have life. We know some countless stories of sacrifice, don't we? And all of those stories of sacrifice simply unite us to the sacrifice of Jesus Christ at Calvary. Because sacrifice gives life to the one giving it and then to the recipient as well. All right, so now your task is to turn to the people beside you and give an example of sacrifice that we can do that will give life to others as well as give life to ourselves. Sacrifices that you can offer in your life that can truly give you life as well as give you life.
Okay. Taylor came up with a really good one that's really hard. Just like babbling to people in general. Like just give that up and say what you need to say, kind of. Like saying, "Hi, how are you?" and then leaving. Yeah, like meaning what you say.
Meaning what you say. Yeah. That might require some time.
Yeah.
Great example, thank you. Other examples?
I shared with Gina that when Thanksgiving our holidays roll around, my mom always likes to prepare the entire meal almost all by herself, especially when my dad said that. And so she just doesn't want us to help out or she'll like kill us. So I said that a way that I could help her out that would be like being sacrificial to me because it'd be my time was I can do the dishes because I know that's something that she doesn't like to do. And I know it's something that takes a lot of time. So when she's busy like preparing everything, I could wash the dishes. It's not my favorite thing to do, but when I do it, and yeah, so it makes sense.
And God will bless us with that service. You feel a sense of blessing.
The ladies who volunteer on the St. Vincent de Paul Society are sacrificing their time to serve the poor and the homeless and the needy and the hungry of Bowling Green. And the volunteers that work the food pantry as well. It's one thing that Jess and I can talk about as well.
Yeah. Just sacrifices.
Sometimes I found like when I'm really tired, just a sacrifice is being cheerful and smiling at people around me, like not taking out my t-shirt bag on them, but just being cheerful and trying to be a blessing with them, even if I don't think
Exercising self-control is a huge sacrifice. Other examples?
Sacrifice preferences.
Exercise, sacrifice preferences. Such as?
Such as maybe you prefer to spend time with certain people, or you can choose to give yourself time and spend time with others.
That's a huge one.
Sacrifice of comfort. It's like, maybe you're not comfortable with evangelizing, or going out on campus and being active in your faith group on campus, but being willing to sacrifice your comfort to be able to do that.
Like further on, right? Just saying a general hello to a random stranger.
person who wants something, it's just not something to do with society anymore. But sometimes it really does just make a person's day. So it's just a random act that you can do. Random kindness.
I just wanted to add that opening the door for someone, because I know that always makes me feel pretty special. If like somebody's right in front of me and they just step back and hold the door.
It's good to be remembered in public, right? Or being noticed.
When we shared the part about like comfort, like your comfort, he was like, that was completely different because that's like kind of like myself. Well, like it was just kind of like how you look at like I don't know, when I was being person comfort, I thought about like I don't know, your typical like scene where like the girls and the guys are out and the guys like and sees that the girls are pulling her sacrifices jacket or something, or like even if you're at home watching a movie with your family and your mom's cool. I have a blanket. I don't want that. They're like, hey, mom, you can have a sleeping or sacrifice stuff. And then I had a survey to share out on vacation about sacrificing people. I have a 6-year-old brother, and sometimes when we go shopping, my dad likes to stay out there. So we leave my brother there with him. And my dad says that every now and then Jared will just roll down the window, or well, not roll, he just presses the button, and the window goes down. He does stick his head out the window, and he'll be like, oh. So everybody you see that walks by. So it kind of does like brighten up everybody's day to see his 6-year-old taking his I don't know. I would share that.
What other examples?
Oh, sorry. We talked about the military, like the soldiers that give their lives for sacrifice for others. And we also, like, that's like a big, big sacrifice because it's our lives. And it's like a littler, scale. We both are only child, and then it's hard for us to share, like, stuff. So we're like, we treasure our things. So in that struggle, when we actually share, I feel like that's, even if it's something little, that it might not mean a lot to the other person because it's just like, whatever. For us, it required a lot, so that's, I feel like counts for something.
The more we live sacrificial lives, kind of life that we sacrifice and the United sacrifices and Christ sacrifice, you know, that's where we really find a sense of self. And what happens is God blesses us. It becomes more natural too. It becomes more of a virtue than a deliberate will. We just do it naturally. But we have to overcome that fear that if we let go, you know, that we won't have anything left. You know, it's the idea that we throw all the water, exuberance and charity, we have anything left in the bucket. We have this fear that we gotta keep some, I gotta keep some. And then we live this life of kind of grasping to stuff, grasping for time, we cling to it, we can't give any more time to prayer, we can't give any more time to our neighbor, because we're worrisome, clinging to our possessions. We're actually clinging to our charity, because we don't want to, we think we have this cap on this joy we might have in the course of the day, and if I exceed that cap, I don't have anything left for myself. It reminds me of the story of the fear of the 5-year-old daughter who at the grocery store sees in a cheap foil box a fake strand of pearls. And she says, Mommy, buy me the strand of pearls. And the mother says, no, it's too expensive. It's $2.50. You have to save your money. So she saved her money. She did the chores and she saved her birthday money. She finally had the $2.50 and she bought those pearls. And they were her prized possession. She would wear whatever she got dressed up. She hardly took them off. At one point, her father went to her bedroom, as he did every night, told the story, prayed with her, and then he said to her one night, he goes, do you love me? And she said, yes, Daddy, I love you. He said, well, give me your pearls. Oh, no, Daddy, I can't give you my pearls. Here, take my dog with purple hair. I said, no, I love you, but I love your pearls. And say goodnight. A week later, he went back and said, do you love me? She said, yes, Daddy. He said, give me your pearls. She said, oh, no, Daddy, don't make me give you that. Here, take something else, but not my pearls. girl said, I love you. Like, no, I love your girls. Right. Came back a few weeks later, and his daughter, this time, was sitting in her bed, and she was very sad. And he said, well, what's the matter? She reached out her hand, and she put her hand in his, and she gave him her pearls. And a little tear in her eye. She goes, here, Dad, they're yours. And without missing a beat, he reached in his pocket, and he pulled out a velvet box, and opened it with real pearls. And he was ready to give her from the very beginning. But she couldn't receive that great prize, that great treasure, that great pearl, until she was willing to surrender, to sacrifice. That's the life for us, you know. We cling to stuff with such ardency, but we shouldn't. We should let go of it. And that's where God blesses us. I mean, so many of you have said the times you sacrificed, God bless you. And we just came back from alternative spring break with Travis. So you guys, it was a great week. And there was sacrifice in it. And I took 3 cold showers. There's a sacrifice in it. I woke up earlier than I ever wanted to wake up. Stayed up later than I ever wanted to wake up. There's sacrifice in that. Slept in a trailer that smelled like a dead bat. It just wasn't easy. A little bit of a sacrifice in that. But when you let go, you know, that's when God can really bless us. And so I just encourage you, let's live penitential lives. Lives where we want to always grow in holiness, union with God. Each day is an opportunity to do that. And we do that through those penitential acts of fasting, prayer, and almsgiving. But we will never embrace that penitential life, fasting, prayer, and almsgiving. And again, it's a lifestyle. It's a source of joy, but it's a lifestyle that will only be motivated when we understand the nature of sacrifice. And that we take our little sacrifice and unite them to sacrifice of Christ, we bless the life of others as well as we are blessed. Any questions? Thank you for your time.